Hi. Hope everyone's okay. Happy Saturday. Yay. Just wanted to start off with sending out so much love. So hugs. And then I've got a few things to cover off today. Because every day I'm hustling, do you know what I mean? I'm on my green tea. My green tea game is strong today. So firstly, I just wanted to talk about belief and faith. I think this is appropriate at this time. And this is just, I'm going to put in links to everything like I always do. You don't have to believe me. Please double check and read the information that I put in the links. You know, there's that sort of vibe of, you know, you don't believe in something till you see it. And I guess I was like that also for a long time. Yeah. But here's the thing. And obviously at the moment, this is just a heightened time and there's loads of crazy stuff going on. So, and lots of people have died, not just this year, not just because of COVID, because of many other illnesses and situations. And there's that, sometimes people say, you know, how can God let this happen? Yeah. But at the same time, people don't believe or haven't believed or had faith in God, but expect God to turn up. So how can that be? How can you expect something to turn up if you don't even believe in it in the first place? You need to believe and be thankful and grateful for all of the blessings that you do have every day first. And then more comes because you're believing. And then you'll see. You see what I mean? So I'll put in a link to this. It'll probably explain it a lot better than me. But I guess this whole year, well, it started long before that, yeah. The end of December 2019 was when I started believing. I couldn't really put anything. No, I couldn't explain it initially, but just so many things, so many synchronicities were happening And the more they happen, the more obviously I believe, and the more I believe, the more they happen. And that's not just in terms of, say, numbers and things like that, but in terms of seeing, yeah, everything is a sign, everything is a message, if you choose to see it that way. And everything is energy. And when you start seeing in those terms, in that way, the more you see, the more you feel. And then it becomes where it's just a constant flow between you and the universe, creator, source energy, God. So you need to believe. Obviously, this is, you don't have to believe. You don't have to believe what I believe, and you also don't have to believe me. You can just read the other links on there that I'm going to put in there. Because you can call it whatever you want, but they're the universal laws. I believe in everything. That's the thing. Because there's truth and lies in everything. And it's about navigating your way through the truth and the lies. And the way to see that, discern, is through a combination of faith, belief, and energy. Because you can feel the energy of people and things. And that's that power, that vibration that's been given to you from believing in yourself and believing in source energy, creator, God, universe. And you're never wrong. Because when you start to trust yourself and believe in yourself and love yourself and know yourself and follow that inner guidance and compass that is in each and every one of us, then you just see the truth and you feel it. And that's the thing. The universe wants us to believe in ourselves and love ourselves and love ourselves as we are loved and see ourselves as we are seen. Because we beat ourselves up for all the things, you know, either that we do or mistakes we made or whatever, and then that can lead to, you know, acting in certain ways or reacting in certain ways, or it can affect our own energy and what we and how we think and what we emit, and then ultimately what we attract as well. Because if you're in a negative state of being, which comes from what we consume, then that's what you're emitting, and you're just going to attract more of the same. If you believe in yourself and you know you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, and you're going to love yourself, and that's not in a vain way, it's just about like knowing yourself and loving yourself, all parts of yourself, including all your faults, or what would be termed as faults. Because that's just make mistakes. Those mistakes are there to teach us a lesson. Doesn't mean life's over. We're not victims of our circumstances. We're masters of creation. But we can easily our emotions can take over, and we can easily get bogged down in that place, rather than see it for what it is, which is a lesson. It's a test. Showing us, different things about ourselves, and different ways the path can go. And at any point, it's a choice. So we just need to have faith, because the universe is constantly showing us. The creator, source, energy, God is constantly showing us that it's there for us, but we're just not seeing it. The more that we see it, if we open our eyes and see, the miracles that are around us all the time, that are happening all the time, but we've just forgotten to see them as miracles and appreciate them and be grateful for them, and know that we are these powerful creators. Know our power. Know that we have the right to not only choose what we want, but also create the life that we want, and create anything we want. Because wherever I said this yesterday, but it's true. Think about it. Just first of all, let's go outside and just look around. Just the magnificence of nature, and how that occurs, and all the different species of animals and plants, and how long they've existed, and how they grow and change, and it's magical. And then you come inside and you just look around. Everything that you're surrounded by is a creation. And they started off as a thought, and they became things because the person who had the thought focused and was motivated and determined and prepared to do whatever it takes to create that thing. They've made the sacrifices in their life to dedicate their time to creating it. And that's how it works. They believed in themselves. They believed in themselves and put everything they had into it, whatever it is. And they created it. So each and every one of us are creators. We have that power within us. It's just it's the knowing that, and then it's also using it, applying it, and using our imagination. Imagination is the key to everything. It's not about what we're in now. It's about focusing on where we're going and doing whatever we can to get there, rather than getting bogged down in the chaos. And also, these people have been taking advantage of us because we've been distracted. We've been distracted because we've forgotten that we have the ability to do anything, and there is no ceiling and there are no limits. And they've sort of abused and manipulated us by putting us into these systems that are fundamentally broken, but also they just it's a method of control. Getting everyone stuck in the 9 to 5, working for someone else's dream, whilst not, forgetting about your own, or not, not even thinking about it. Just in it, you're in the system. That's it. Working, everyone sort of starts on Monday. It's like, how long till Friday? And they're benefiting. They're capitalizing on everyone's inability to see their own worth, and that everyone has the ability to do exactly what they've done, but for good, if you know what I mean. Everyone has the ability to have, but they don't want us to have it. They want us to make it for them. And so they use that to manipulate and control. And also via everything that they put before us, in terms of news and stuff like that. It's complete control. They're controlling what we see and what we believe. And if you go back to what's that program called? What is it? It was a film about. It was on Netflix, and it was about Cambridge Analytica. Oh, I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's The Great Something. Yeah, Google it. Or I'll put a link. I'll find it and I'll put a link in actually. So here's the thing. Since the creation of the internet, every click, every comment, every like, everything you've bought, all of that data, all of your personal data, all of your shopping, all of your search history, all of that is available and shared between certain people and they use it to manipulate you even further into how they want you to think and feel by putting in front of you specific things and spreading more fear and hate and distraction and chaos. Because these are the people, they're the criminals. They're just desperately trying for us not to see them for who they are. So they're just trying to cause merry hell everywhere as a means to distract us from them, from turning to them, from seeing them for exactly who they are. And there's just, I'll put in the links to all of these videos. It says even every Facebook, if you don't know about this now, you should. I mean, you really should. So Facebook, Microsoft, I even did it today when I got my new laptop, and I was setting it up. And when you go through the setup, obviously it's got Microsoft on it. And you go through all the setup, it's got, you've got to put your preferences in. And all of them were, do you want all of your geographical, search history, even down to what you write in Microsoft documents, anything that you post anywhere. Do you want this data to be sent back to Microsoft for diagnostic preferencing purposes and review? Like, no, thank you. Like, they've been doing it all this time, just manipulating us, collating data on all of us and using it against us. And they'll target certain people in certain places with certain things to add fuel to the fire, if you see what I mean. If they've got very strong opinions about race, for example, or very strong opinions about sexuality, and then they're going to feed in adverts and news and information and certain posts that will be put in to fire that, to make it worse. And they even, with Facebook, if you use Facebook, they can track you no matter what device you're on. Once you've logged in there, that's it. They can track you. They can track everything you do. Even if you come out of the Facebook and it's still logged in, they can still track you. They can track everything you're doing. And this is like evidence of they've been in Congress for this. I mean, that's on a very base level, and that's not even including people like NSA and all of the intelligence bods that are following everyone anyway. So it's just, all of it is a method of control, and to keep people divided, and to keep people in fear, and to keep people hating each other, and that's just, it's not the reality of things. They're doing it intentionally. So yeah, that's that. What was I going to say? Oh, I was thinking about here's another one, right? Let's think about it. What's the hand sanitizer? Listen, you looked up the ingredients. You can make that yourself, right? First and foremost, washing your hands with soap does the exact same job. But they've managed to convince an entire world of people that they need hand sanitizer, which does the exact same job as soap. Therefore, creating a creating a false demand for a product that we don't need just to make money out of a situation where people are dying, no less. Like, this is the level of fuckery that we're dealing with. They literally don't give a shit. Yeah, let's not mess around. And you can't take any of these people in government seriously. I mean, at this point, any government. Yeah, and look, listen, there are some people that are good people, don't get me wrong. But they are the epitome of corruption. You go, those Panama Papers, I'm going to put a link to those in if you didn't watch the video or look at it from my other one that I did the other day. But it just names them all. It names and shames them all. And it's all people in government, it's all law firms, it's all accountancy firms, it's all... They are the criminals. Let's make no mistake. And they're trying to tell us how to live our lives when they're the corruptest people on the planet. Because if you weren't, they would just be open and honest about absolutely everything. There'd be nothing to hide. But they aren't open and honest about anything, because there is many things that they're trying to hide, but they can't, because they have to, they have to publish certain things, and you just follow the money. Like in the Panama Papers, David Cameron, they're all using, like, for example, right, I was thinking about this as well. This all connects to this. So Parliament government, right? Well, when it was originally set up, was set up by a guy that was anti-Semitic, for one, and it was set up by aristocrats seeking to, and this comes in line with the whole law and taxation, accountancy, auditing. All these things were set up by the same group of white men who were racist, anti-Semitic, and involved in slave trade. And they were all set up to protect them and their interests. And they were written in a way that requires a 4-year degree to understand. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but surely the system of rules by which we all live, or should live, should be understandable and comprehensible by each and every person in society, not just the educated few. Because there's so many loopholes and so many, secret backdoors into this, that, and the other, that only the people that know about them, i.e. people that have done the degrees and or have the money to pay for people, the haves and the have-nots, see? So it's just it's called the criminal justice system, right? It's just an oxymoron, criminal justice. What, so justice for criminals, is that? Like, they are the criminal police, straight up. And it's become, these laws have become so long-winded and in language that is indecipherable to anybody. It just makes no bloody sense. How can you expect people to live by rules that they can't even understand unless you've done a degree in it? It just doesn't make sense, does it? You need to have It needs to be common law. It needs to be a set of rules that is, and frankly, it needs to be a set of rules that is the same everywhere, surely, because we're all the same. We're humans. So it would make sense that no matter where you are, those same basic principles apply. And they should be founded around human rights of all, not the wealthy, educated, or they like to think they like to think they're the most educated few. Just that whole process there is unfair as well. It's completely unfair. So they can't tell us anything. I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, they are everything that they're trying to penalise everyone else for. They are the ones that are using all the tax loopholes. Reason why, listen, everyone uses Great Britain, right, as or the British Virgin Islands, some anywhere that's in the empire. They're using us because we're well known for accepting and allowing people to come and put their companies here so they can abuse the taxation laws. Our banks are known for allowing criminal activity and now allowing money laundering, allowing all of these kind of things, allowing tax, all of this stuff. And it's just like, hold on a minute. What are we doing? And they want to tell us they're the most corrupt fuckers there are. Straight up. They're like, and people, they want to look down at us. They want to look down at us. Be like, oh, you're doing bad things. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're creating wars. You're creating wars and murdering people. You're laundering money. You're using every tax loophole there is. Why? Because you created the law, so only you would know about it, and you're using it, and no one else knows. Fuck you. Like, what? Seriously? I can't take them serious. I can't even look at. It's like, it doesn't matter what they say. I'm not paying a blind bit of attention to anything they say, and they can't tell me no. Because I'll just be like, okay, hold on, let me just bring my battleship of evidence of your constant corruption. And then you want to say what to me now? No, I'm not listening. Mm-mm. So that's my thoughts on that. I'm going to put in some links for you so you can enjoy. What was I going to say as well? Oh, back to the parliament system. This two-party system is a joke. Nothing ever gets done, does it? When you got the two party, then nothing gets done. They just argue. That's all they do. They spend their entire time arguing. Oh, it's your fault. Now it's your fault. Nothing gets done. And there's a guy in London, Brian, who's American, who's running for mayor. He should absolutely be mayor, Londoners. He has a business himself. He has taught 5,000 people to start businesses and make money and be successful. He helps people all around the world. So he knows what he's talking about. He's got the results to back that up. If there's anybody, and he gives a shit, and if there's anybody that should be in the running and come first, it is him. And he's an independent. Yeah, he will turn London around. But they don't want him to be heard. So BBC had a debate, right? But they only invited the Labour candidate and the Conservative candidate. They didn't invite no one else. So that the only thing that they televised was the two that those are the only two they invited, which gives off that those are the only two that there are. But no, it's not. That's not the case. And both of those are shit. So I'm going to share. Brian is a ledge. Brian will whip London into shape. More importantly, government. I have no doubt in my mind. And not only that, he'll be able to teach people how to start their own businesses and make money. And the job, he'll turn that around in a jiffy. So I'm going to put in his info there. So vote for Brian. Vote for Brian. He knows what he's talking about. And predictions, right? So I was saying about yesterday, manifestation. It's all to do with, again, the universe, creator, God, amazingness, and belief and faith, and having the imagination, dreaming big, writing them down, believing, because the mere fact that you've had that thought, if it's something that you want to create or somewhere you want to go or whatever, that means that it's going to happen. It's already happening. It exists because you thought it. So it's just a case of how to get from there to there. And it's just believing and making the necessary steps or changes, whatever you need to do to get there. Right? But at its base level, just believing. And it will manifest. Right? So anyone out there, this is where you start to see the people with bad intentions. They stand out like a sore fucking bum, let me tell you. Because anyone out there that is preaching or predicting, for example, my good friend Bill Gates. No. Bill Gates, yeah. Oh, there'll be another pandemic. I'm predicting there's going to be another pandemic. If he's predicting it, mate, he's creating it. Sure as shit, he's manifesting that fucker. How is he manifesting it? He is creating it. And he's funding the people, the places, the whatever, the labs that are going to be creating that fucking thing. You sure as shit it is. That is what that prediction is. And this is what I'm saying. So when you have people that are out there that are making predictions of anything along those lines, end of days, all of that, yeah, they are the ones that you need to fucking watch. They're the ones that are creating it. They're the ones that are going out of the way to make that. They're the ones that are manifesting that. And then when you start seeing it like that, then you start seeing the ones, they straight away, they stick out. I was thinking as well, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, about Rome. I was saying about, so Rome, I was thinking, because I said yesterday, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? But it was built, wasn't it? So then today, they're going on now. Oh, we're going to come for this water shortages and by 2050. Oh my God, the doom and gloom. Jeez, Louise. So I thought, I'm going to look into this. Right. This is another thing about water. Water is free. Right? It's God-given. It comes from the sky. Right? So I looked into this, right? And there's first and foremost, if they're going to start going down this route, just collect. Get yourself a rain, water management collection system. You can buy them and just collect and use your own rainwater if they're going to start doing this fuckery, because they're going, oh, we might have to increase the water charges. So I looked it up on the government website. It's saying they're spending like 12 billion on water collection and management. It's like, well, why is there a problem then? If you're spending, where's that money going? If there's problems, because they're saying that there's problems with the water, there's leaks and the system can't cope, and it just doesn't make any sense, does it? Because, well, we're having constant flooding, so from serious heavy rainfall. So where's that water going? Why aren't they collecting that? And if they aren't collecting it and managing it properly, where on earth is all that money going that they say is going on the management system? Not only that, when I looked up water, collecting your own rainwater, it says that in some places they want to charge you. You have to get a license to collect your own rainwater. See how they're trying to monopolise and capitalise on something that is free. It's just, how can they do that? Saying that literally, if you Google water collection, like rainwater collection, sorry, and then it will come up with, in certain circumstances, in certain areas, you might need to apply and pay for a license to collect your own fucking rainwater from your own property. What the fuck? I don't think so. No. What a joke. How can they monopolise something how can they do that? See what I mean? It's mental. And then, this is going back to Rome. So I just thought to myself, suddenly popped into my head, aqueducts. Yeah. Like Rome knew what they were doing, didn't they? Look at what they built. Those structures have existed for 2,000 years. We can't build stuff that lasts 5 years. Like what? How did they do that? They're geniuses. Why are we not going back there and going, we need to take a step back here and relearn from these wise people. They've got aqueduct systems that have existed for over 2,000 years, and they're still there now. Not only that, I thought that, and then you know what? I changed the channel, and there was a program on this exact topic. No word of a lie. And the Colosseum, which is something like 3 building stories high. They built that back then with just grit and determination. They haven't got the technology and stuff we got now. We cannot build stuff that lasts like they did. What a joke. Why is that? I'll tell you why it is. Because they're trying to use the cheapest possible materials that will last the least amount of time, and they'll make the most money because they're greedy fucking arseholes. And all they care about is money. They don't care about the quality of the product that they're putting out. It actually benefits them if it's shitter, because then they're going to have to come back out and redo it again anyways, and they'll get paid again. See, another system. What about where did the love of architecture and where has that gone? I know it's still existing, so don't get me wrong, but come on. How can they have built something that has lasted 2,000 years that can still be used now? The aqueduct can still be used. And we cannot even build a bloody water system that functions properly to collect fucking water. And we're spending £12 billion a year on it. Are you for real? Like, why literally every single system is just straight up broke. Like, there's no if buts around about it, is there? We go back, learn from them. Learn their wily ways. They were wizards. They listen. Our aqueducts. We just need to learn from the best. They built these aqueducts. They could travel for miles, overground, underground tunneling systems to collect water and keep it cool and safe. And they built through hills, round hills, down hills. So it just took the natural flow into the ground, into these tunnels underground, and then along these aqueducts to deliver it out to people. Like, come on, these lot of geniuses. We just need to follow their bloody blueprint. Stop using shit. Stop using shit materials that are solely used because they're the cheapest and won't last. And the proof is in the pudding. They've built a water system that has not lasted. It's not working and is broken. And we're spending a fucking fortune on it. On what I'm sure is private contractors just getting paid an absolute stupid amount of money for delivering a system that doesn't work and won't last. Great. Cheers. And whose fault is that? Oh, government. Gotta love them, haven't you? Yeah? Nah. Please. So yeah. That's my thoughts on that. I'm going to put the links into the water. Oh, and let's not forget as well, they not only that, but they like to treat water with chemicals and they use lime. Lime is if under pressure and heat can explode, and secondly, it can cause cancers. And they're using that to treat the fucking water that we're drinking. We need to get, as I said this before about 8 months ago, we need to get Erin Brockovich over here and do a PG&E on all of our water systems. I bet you there would be an absolute horror show. I'll put money on it. Yeah, aqueducts, that was my other note there. Oh, not only that, yeah, their aqueducts, they had this system so nailed that this 2,000 years ago, that they could connect the aqueduct up to the Colosseum, and that thing would fill up with water so that the emperor could enjoy a live battleship show in the Colosseum. So they'd fill that up and lower it, empty it again for shits and gigs. That's how good their system was. An actual battleship show. That's how big the Colosseum is. And they made it into a sea and then let it out. Like their ability, 2,000 years ago, they had a better water management system than we do now, with the technology and the money and the people and the what. Really? Mind blowing, honestly. Who else can I? Oh yeah. So I talked about Brian. Talked about the thing. Talked about predictions. So you can see how Bill Gates is a massive problem. We'll go back to that just briefly, because he's the one that's causing all the problems. And not only that, Elon Musk is saying he refuses to have the vaccine. Elon Musk is a very intelligent man. Let's be real. And not only does he say he's not having it, he goes, and Bill Gates is he'd use a much kinder word than me. He called him a knucklehead for his fuckery. So, just saying. Hashtag just saying. Oh, the other thought I had was, Matthew McConaughey, right? I'm probably saying that surname wrong. I'm so sorry. So he did. If he should run for governor, and he should hands down win. Yeah, he'd look after you. He'd do the right thing, and he's just a legend, isn't he? just straight up. So, but he did, obviously with what's happened with Texas, with the snow, he held a fundraiser and obviously got all, local bands and musicians and stuff together for that. Right. So then I was thinking, hold on. What about there's some other places that are currently going through extreme weather. It's like, you know what I mean. So Alabama, yeah, home of Martin Luther King, I believe. Yeah, they've got the tornadoes, haven't they? They've just had tornadoes. So thinking of you guys, praying for you. Hope everyone's okay. So take a leaf out of Matthew's book. Who we got? Who we got in Alabama? There must be some actor, or there's loads probably, I'm sure. But you know what I mean? Like, do the same thing. Come on. Everyone helps each other. Just get it. So you could do, if there was actors and musicians, everyone from that's in Alabama, do the same thing. Do another fundraiser, and then we'll share it. We'll all watch. We'll all donate. And then we're all helping each other out. Because they take too long, these people. Bureaucracy. And plus they don't give a shit. And plus they're criminals themselves. Can't trust them. But we can trust each other. So that was my thought, was like, oh, come on. Who is in Alabama? Celebrities, we're talking movie stars, we're talking TV personalities, we're talking musicians, bands, etc. Everyone get together and do a fundraiser for Alabama to help with tornado recovery. That'd be awesome. And then also on that note, Australia, they've got floods. We could do the same there. Who we got? Come on, let's go. And I've got a link for there's fires. They've had fires in Bangladesh. I've got a link to a local charity there that are trying to help those guys out, because loads of people have died, sadly. I'm not thinking of you. So yeah, we should just, you know what I mean? Now we're just sharing the best of the best now. We're getting all the good ideas, just getting them around. Sharing. Sharing's caring, isn't it? And the other thing, let me listen. Look, I tell you, this Ever Given charade that's going on in the Suez Canal, right? Yeah, that canal has been used for the transportation of goods forever. It has always been used that way. Does anyone else think that there's some sort of weird timing to this? That there's suddenly during a pandemic, that there's a sudden supply chain issue of goods in a channel that has been used for centuries to transport goods. I do. But also, have you seen the size of the boats that they're trying to use to move this thing? They look like, if you look at an aerial shot, they look like specks of teeny specks trying to move something that is this big, and they're, this big. It's like, that's never going to work. Like, just even the mathematics, engineering, whatever, mechanics of that's never going to work, is it? That's just basic physics because of the size of the thing. It's like, why are they not? There's 350 enormous ships there. Why aren't they using several of those to tug it out? because they're of the right size and weight to be able to pull something of an equal size and weight, no? So why are they not using any of them? There are 350 of them there waiting. Or what about sending some armed naval ships? They'd be able to do it in a jiff, wouldn't they? And they're there with these little tiny tugboats. It's like, what are you doing? That ship has gone up and down that thing so many times already. Like, it's complete. Like, the chances of that happening, out of the amount of time that and how many ships go through that for that, and now that there's suddenly a supply chain issue that's going to take weeks and weeks. Really? No, it doesn't need to take weeks and weeks. You don't need to sit there and unload the bloody thing. The water is exactly the same as it has always been, but you're never going to be able to move it with tiny little teeny tiny boats. Come on. I mean, has logic just escaped people? Not everyone, obviously, not us, not the fam, but the people that are in charge. Like, what are they doing? It's nuts. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, how many the countries around there got naval ships? They'll be able to send one there, and that's even before they're just using any of the 350 that are just sat there waiting. Come on. And what it highlights is this. Firstly, the absurdity of it, but also that we should not be reliant on imports from other places. And this applies to each and every country. You've got the ability within your country to make what you want. Yes, trade is good. Of course it is. But this highlights that being at the will or what's the word? You just don't want to be in this place. You don't want to be in a place where you're now going, fuck, the country's going to grind to a halt because we've got supply. Everything that we do is reliant on imports from other countries. That is not a situation anyone wants to be in, no matter what country you're in. So then the answer is, well, what are we importing, and can we manufacture it ourselves? And if we can, which you should be able to, then set that up. Because we've all got the skills. Everyone's got the skills. There's loads of people that are out of work. They could be in work. They could be making the things that we're trying to import from other countries that are now stuck in a bloody Suez Canal. So rather than getting stressed up about it and go, and all this Brexit malarkey, which totally plan as well. Yeah, just to complicate things, make tensions. All politicians do is cause a problem. They cause a problem between themselves because they're constantly bitching and fighting and not getting anything done. And then they cause a problem between countries. And then the media makes it worse because then they just portray whatever they want to portray it to achieve their goals and agendas, which is ultimately their monopoly on global trade and global whatever. So that's my thoughts on that. Where am I? I think that, one more thing. Nope, two more. Sorry. So the last thing I was going Scotland. Yeah. Support this woman. Support Nicola Sturgeon, please. Listen, you've got to just take a step back from this for a minute and think about this. Look at how well she managed Scotland for the last year during a crisis in comparison to the absolute fuckery that we got here in England. Just remember that. And then also remember, this is completely by design, this whole thing. Alex Hammond should in no way be able to work in politics again when he has absolutely been involved in sexual harassment. Like, how can he even think that he can step back up on a political stage and be taken seriously when creating a new party? No, mate, sorry, no. And just remember what she did. You may not like, people don't like people, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're not in that job. You're not wearing those shoes. You're not walking a mile in her shoes. We can all criticize as much as we want, but we're not the ones in those shoes having to make those decisions during a crisis. And also remember, they're also part of this broken system and ultimately puppets to puppet masters. Yeah, let's not forget that either. And she's done an amazing job, particularly in comparison to over here. And they're just trying to make her look bad, which she's come out clean, because they said that she didn't do what they were trying to make her look like she had done. And now he's trying to get back up, and this tit for tat. No. Nicola Sturgeon is a warrior. Yeah, she's had to stand up against men, and particularly men that have sexually harassed women on that kind of stage, at that kind of level, and during a COVID crisis, which she has managed well. So stand behind her, and also go for independence. Free yourselves from this fuckery that is over here. Let me tell you. Go for independence. Fly that flag. Yeah. No one, literally, the empire, yeah. Oh, mate. The empire. It's just shameful. Shameful is. We've achieved many things, but unfortunately, a lot of them aren't great. They're not great. They do not. When you actually look into history, as much as I have in the last year, it's not a pretty picture. It's not. We shouldn't be proud of a lot of that has been achieved. We shouldn't. We just stolen people's land, stolen people's money, stolen people's jobs, stolen people, and continue to. And then not only that, we're well known around the world for allowing this level of corruption and fraud and slavery and trafficking and paedophilia. And that's what we're known. That is what? No, mate. Scotland, free yourselves. That's what I'm saying. Free yourselves. Seriously. Free yourselves, and then I'll come up there and join you. Right, jeez. It's nuts. And then they want to go, and then they want, not only that, they want to steal other people's history as well. They want to go, oh, no, we did it. We claimed it. We created it. It was us. No, it wasn't. Don't lie. Because there's loads of time where they someone else has discovered something, and then they've just gone, no, we did. It was us first. Old Union. No. Stop claiming other people's victories. Stop claiming other people's discoveries. Stop just taking shit that is not ours. Straight. It's the monarchy is a disgrace. Frankly. Sorry, but it is. And there's just so much evidence of it, and it's just no wonder everyone. And then you think that's why these problems exist. They're from history, from years of oppression and suppression. This is tyranny. It's not fucking democracy. It's a polar opposite of democracy. So, my rant for today. Okay, I've gone on for an hour and 5 minutes. Can you believe that? What a joke. Soz. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's me done for today. I think I've ranted enough. But overall vibe is great news. 1, believe. 2, have faith. 3, the universe is with us. With us. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the universe is constantly, source energy, creator, God, constantly proving to me that that is the case by what the information that is being brought to me and the messages that I'm getting and the people that are involved and everything that's changing. So it is. So just believe. Got to believe it first before you see it. So I love you guys. Sorry for my cray rant on a Saturday. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my green tea. Well, it's a mix, green and peppermint, because I like to. It's crazy out here. And, you know, I'm going to dance around my living room because, frankly, I'm embracing the chaos. I'm just embracing it's so, the longer this goes on, the more that these people just expose themselves. And then you just think, bless you. You know, very foolish. Very, very foolish. So we're cool. You know what I mean? We're the gang. We're the gang that can. There you go. There's a new saying. So love you, love you, love you. I hope you have a great rest of the day, rest of your Saturday, whatever you may do. Embrace every moment. And tell someone you love them. That's what I'd say. As much as you can. You never know. So just love the people that you love, innit? Love you.